how long will the 49ers draw out this Jimmy Garoppolo saga? I mean, free agency started. His no trade clause has expired. They could trade him to Siberia right now if they wanted to. How long do you think they're going to keep this going?
That's a great question. I would say that they want their price. So I think they want what they gave. I think they realize that in the court of public opinion, since they didn't win a Super Bowl with Jimmy, that the only way they're viewed as winning is if they get what they paid. They paid a 2. If they get a 2, they're ahead of the game. I think they're cognizant.
So you ask for 2 2s and settle for 1, right?
I think you ask for 2 2s and settle for 1, or you ask for 2 2s and you settle for a 2 and a 5, something like that. Fair. But I think and then you can look your fans in the face and say, hey, we traded a 2 to get him. We got a 2 and a 5 for him, and we wrote it to 2 NFC Championship games and 1 Super Bowl appearance. We're ahead, and I think you can make that argument. So,
but it's costing you free agents. I mean, they were interested in Chandler Jones, couldn't get Chandler Jones, too expensive. Interested in J.C. Jackson, couldn't get J.C. Jackson, had to front load that deal. So I mean, they've gotten guys, but it's this is $25 million we're talking. You could do a lot with that.
Oh, I know.
And I think it's important because I don't consider them Super Bowl favorites at this point.
No, they just lost DJ Jones. That's the anchor of their run D. We'll get to that in a bit, I'm sure. But I mean, to me, that was a huge loss. I mean, when I know a lot of people didn't want to see Tomlinson walk out the door. I wasn't in that camp because he's a guard, and I just don't think you pay guards that aren't John Hanna from years ago or Quentin Nelson from today. You don't pay just a guard. You pay Hall of Fame guards. Mm-hmm. You pay Steve Wisniewski or somebody like that. You don't pay just random guards. So I didn't. But better. They just lost maybe the key cog on their run D in DJ Jones. So it sounds like they're going to lose Street as well. So I don't think they're the team that they were going into free agency just 2 days ago.
No, I don't think so either. And I think they're going to draw this Garoppolo saga out a while because they got to wait for Deshaun Watson. Then they got to wait for Baker Mayfield, assuming they don't get Deshaun Watson. I mean, who else could be? What if Matt Ryan becomes available? Then they got to wait for him. If anyone becomes available, Jimmy takes a backseat every single time. And the Niners could feel like, well, maybe we'll just wait until the draft. Or maybe they'll just keep him and start him again next year, like Smash Mouth was campaigning for.
No, I love you, Smash Mouth, but hell no. You made the point. If Jimmy's in the room, Jimmy's going to be who the players side with. And then that you got to play Jimmy, and that's a non-starter. The one argument I could see is that there's so few quarterbacks and they go down. Do you wait till camp? Do you wait till the preseason? Do you wait for somebody to go down and then hold somebody hostage because you have 2 quarterbacks in a league where maybe a team that needs one doesn't have one? I mean, I guess, but that's a huge risk. That's a huge risk.
How often does that happen? Did it happen?
That's rare. Carson Palmer happened to Carson. Carson Palmer.
Yeah. It happened to Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but
it's rare.
To me, I think every moment that Jimmy Garoppolo is still on this team, I think the Niners are making a mistake. They're just doing this because, as you said, they don't want to take that media hit that we lost on Jimmy Garoppolo. Who cares? It's just one day. You take the loss and you move on. You take the L. And you move on because you're focused on the future. This is just like driving with your eyes glued to the rearview mirror. You got to look forward at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, they should have gotten this done by now, but you know what? I'm not going to question it. If they can get their price, we're still in the off season, but I wouldn't want to let this thing go into the season. And I definitely wouldn't want to bring him back with the idea that we'll just kind of see what's out there. I think you either go with Lance or you make a trade, you bring in a Watson. But I think Niner fans are exhausted by this whole Jimmy trade talk stuff. And would love to see. I think most of the comments I've seen, you've probably seen the same stuff. People want this in the rearview mirror like yesterday. Like, let's get it done.
Can you imagine how happy 49ers fans will be when this finally happens? It's going to be like Mardi Gras.
Exactly. Well, that's a sentiment. That's a sentiment you see and I see. They want it over with. They want to move on.